So next week we have some big names earnings coming out for Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Caterpillar, Boeing. So these are the big names. Probably next week we're gonna see some big earnings. So what can we expect from the stock market? We of course. Now what I am expecting from the market is absolutely nuts. Of course, the market will go 1,000 points more up on Nasdaq. That's very highly possible. Now, how we will approach the market, since the market is sitting on all times high, will not. A lot of investors they are afraid to buy, but here is the thing that how we can approach this market, sitting right at the peak. Even the cryptos are just pumping up, and the inflation is coming down. It's right below 3%. Since the inflation is coming down, what can we expect in the market? Of course, the market will just go up, and the Fed will come out. Jerome Powell will just come out, and he will gonna cut 25 or 50 basis point probably in the interest rates. And what that results a very clear stance of the market. That creates a huge volatility in the market, means pumping trillions and trillion dollars in the stock market. But again, people who bought right now, there is also a danger in it, because the market is sitting right on the top, and we were expecting something 5 to 10% of the flush down, which didn't happen, unfortunately. Like a week ago, the flush happened. It was something around like 3.2% something, but that was not really enough. But if we get this flush, let's say Meta comes out with a missing earnings, or Google comes out with a missing earnings, especially on AI, imagine what will happen to the market, because one of this giant stock will just flush down, and entire market will pull back. So that's clean 3% of the market might pull back. Now, analysts are expecting from these kind of companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, they're expecting something really crazy, especially on AI, because a lot of people, of course, they are betting on AI, and they are expecting the market to just pump and pump. Like if you take a stance on Nvidia, take a look at Nvidia. It's just around sitting more than $4.3 trillion in market cap. That's basically, if you combine all the pharma companies on Nasdaq or New York Stock Exchange, that just equals Nvidia. So the market cap is so huge that, do you think investors will really pump more money in it? Well, the case for Nvidia is absolutely different compared to Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Meta, because Nvidia produces GPUs, it produces chip. And now when we have to talk about the Microsoft, Amazon, or these kind of companies, giant companies, and where they are sitting compared to Nvidia, they don't produce anything, but they have the services using AI. Now, since AI is involved here, people are betting a lot, but you gotta remember that even Oracle came with a very good earnings, but $100 million Oracle was in loss. Well, compared to $100 billion what they invested with OpenAI, $100 million is nothing for Oracle, because 3 or 4 weeks ago, Oracle just reported they are running into a loss with OpenAI. Using the AI features in Oracle, that's probably minus $100 million. Well, the investors, analysts really didn't react to it because of only one reason. The company is so huge that $100 million is basically nothing. Now, coming back to the point, if these kind of companies comes out with a negative earnings or something mixed earnings, what will happen to the market? The market will have a very clear direction that is downwards. So we can expect something 3 to 5, more like maximum like around like 10% correction. So 10% correction, that would be pretty much fair enough for the market, because that would honestly remove the fear gauge from the market. So that's when the big hedge funds, institutions, they come and they just buy in the companies, but they don't have a chance to get in. Why? Because the prices are sitting right on the top. And what we can expect from this market, we have to expect only some flush. With these kind of earnings next week, just day after tomorrow, we're gonna see where the market will head. I am probably hoping the market will pump, and after that the market will flush down, because these companies when I was reading in their previous earnings, they reported basically the coming quarter will be more solid. That means, of course, the earnings are coming now next week, so this quarter will be solid. But now, since the guidance report was so solid, what they gave in the previous earnings, now we have to see in this earnings what kind of guidance they will give. Now, if they give the much better guidance, I am kind of like doubtful market will flush down so easy. It might not. Well, I might be wrong. It might not. It might just keep going up. And well, that's on a very dangerous side. But again, we need just one excuse for the market to flush down. From Donald Trump or from Federal Reserve, of course, one small mistake and market will pull back 10%. So I'm not going to probably invest in the long terms now, because I'm going to wait for the market to pull back and then I'm going to put all my money in. So let me know in the comments below what do you think, and let's see what the earnings will come and where the market will head. But for now, I think it's better to buy for the short term, buy and sell on the same day. That would be more appropriate according to the market, because the inflation, of course, is right below 3%, and the Federal Reserve Jerome Powell is coming out, of course, next week, and he will be cutting down 25 or 50 basis point in the interest rates. So that's kind of very good news for the market. And plus, in October and November, they're planning to print, not kind of planning, they decided to print $1.5 trillion and to inject in US economy. Well, is that good or bad? That's kind of really bad, because we don't want more money to get pumped in the market. The more money get pumped in the market, the more danger stuff piles. And imagine if the market flushes down 20 to 25%, that would be a disaster. So for now, I'm not going to invest in any long terms. Of course, I will take a short terms play to buy and sell on the same day. So I'll post the link down in the description. You can see and you can learn from there. Thank you. See you next time.